everyone, and welcome to Random Act of Squirrel. Today is Act 27, Adventures of the Digital Girl, Farmer's Daughter, and Irish Lass. So, I may have mentioned this before, I don't know. I'm not a big holiday person. I let other people have their fun, but to be honest, in many ways, left to my own devices, probably I would just spend my day locked in a room watching Netflix and playing video games on most holidays. Holidays are weird for me. I don't know if other people feel this way, but I do. One of the things that's kind of weird about holidays is just people act different. There's some people who are normally, I don't know, everyone tries to be happier than they really are, and that's always weird to me because then I can't read people. And there are some people that I know are normally grumpy, but I've become accustomed to them being grumpy, or I've become accustomed to people's tics and things. And then holidays come around, especially like Thanksgiving, since I'm an American, Thanksgiving, and then you hit around Christmas, and there's this 6-week period or so where it's like people get kind of strangely happy, or they get really depressed, or just people get weird. So I was really surprised for this Thanksgiving because our digital girl and I have been together for we've known each other for about 25 or so years, been married for about 23, and her relationship with my mom, who shall now be dubbed first name on here, Farmer's Daughter, been kind of hit and miss. I try to be a good son, but I'm not always a good son. I don't call her as much as I should, so if you are watching this, I love you very much. If you ever feel like I'm missing you, watch this video, and then you can hear that and be reminded. But she was doing some stuff for church, for the church bakery, and started talking to her. Things were going really well. We finally figured out Thanksgiving festivities, and then suddenly she's like, we should go. I'm like, okay. So I went. And I guess I'm really glad that we did, because also there was the second name on the list, Irish Lass. Irish Lass is my grandmother. My grandmother is country girl to the core. She grew up in northern Minnesota. She kind of grew up in rural Minnesota, kind of mid area, that kind of stuff, up to northern area. And when asking her age, I said, you're 89. She said, no, I'm 89 and a half. And she said, my great-grandkids told me that half matters. And so she said she's 89 and a half as of recording. And then we just started talking and stuff after we ate the meal, and talking about life and marriage and husbands, and asked her how long she'd been married. I said, so how long were you and Grandpa married? And she's like, 67 and a half. So halves are important. So in case anybody's wondering, the wisdom of Irish Lass is now defaulting to the intelligence of great-grandchildren, and half years are very important. Just remember that. So Thanksgiving was really fun because I got to make my mom. I got to make Farmer's Daughter's Day really good because, like I said, I get weird around these holidays, and generally I just go by what Digital Girl does because I'd rather make her happy. My life goes better, and mostly I wish I cared more, but I don't. So I make sure she's happy. If I can line other people up in the happy, then I'm even more happy. So we tried some yams, and the yams turned out pretty good. We tried 2 pies so that she can do the bake thing and do that, and so Digital Girl can do some baking with Farmer's Daughter. And the one turned out fantastic, and my pumpkin pie, well, it needed to be tossed. I think it's being given to one of the aunts that can be fed to the cows, because cows like pumpkins apparently. I didn't know this. But the yams were a hit, so for those who care, I cubed up the yams, and then I put olive oil on top of them, and then I put cinnamon, and I put nutmeg, and then I cooked it for about an hour, and they were fantastic. You tested it, put the fork in it, and then the fork slided in nicely, it slides out, they're done, and they were very tasty. And then the blueberry pie that Digital Girl made, that went really well. I didn't know how to make a pumpkin pie, neither did she. Apparently both of us thought you just take the material out of the pumpkin pie and put it in there, and yeah, it didn't turn out good. There wasn't enough whipped cream to make that thing pass. then afterwards, I got to talk to Irish Lass, and that was kind of cool because grandmas don't stick around forever. I'm getting older, the world's getting older, and it was pretty cool to hear her recant her stories. She was child 10 of 12, and this is like 1930s-ish when she was born, and she was all of 5 pounds, and she was born 2 months early. And I just kind of thought about how crazy that was, especially in that era, and how scary it would have been for her parents. And I mean, she's too young to recognize the stuff, but I mean, they actually put her like in a little shoebox beside the oven just to keep her cold, just to keep her warm enough during the winter and stuff like that, because she was so tiny that they had to keep her warm, which is kind of crazy and ingenious and that kind of stuff. And she's very proud of being married. Our conversation today was entertaining because much of it went back to, do you not remember the last thing when you should get married till death do us part? So she's a mix now of sort of caring and grandmotherly and very willing to share wisdom and very willing to share the important stories to make sure you get them, and then she'll tell you again. I'm kind of thrilled that I get to watch Digital Girl. It's kind of a pre-story, I suppose, but I like it when Digital Girl and Farmer's Daughter, my mom, connect better. It makes it easier for me. They're probably like, since I don't have kids, they're probably the three most important girls in my life at this point, because my other grandmother had passed away, so it's my wife, it's my mother, it's my grandmother. Those are probably the three closest to me. And I don't know, it was very cool to see all three of them. When I was younger and had no beard and was hyper and obnoxious, or at least a little more hyper and obnoxious than I am now, they had a dairy farm, and that's why my mother gets to be farmer's daughter, because they grew up on a dairy farm, and Irish Lass got to help maintain a farm and the garden and feed 8 kids, which just sounds like a lot of work, but they did it. And then they retired, and she became very active in church, and then she went on and fed more kids as she worked in the lunchroom at the school too. And she's always busy. She's always doing something, and she hasn't lost the spunk at all, which is kind of fun to watch. My mom is now getting to about the stage where Irish Lass was, when I kind of remember her now, where she's more retired, and so now she's doing more social activities. And Farmer's Daughter just loves to help. Like, if there's anything she can do, it's amazing to watch how she just helps. And one of the things I thought was really cool was Digital Girl had, I don't know, maybe it's not like the biggest strong moment, but just with medical stuff, she has ups and downs, and like 5 o'clock in the morning was kind of just a little kick to the head thing. And normally she would kind of shut the whole day down, and I'd have to go by myself, which was always awkward. That's why I kind of hated planning things, because I don't know what to expect out of people. I don't know what's going to be asked. And I was so happy because one of the first things that Farmer's Daughter did right away when she came in, Digital Girl says, I had something happen here, I'm kind of off, I have plan B set up, and immediately Farmer's Daughter kind of stepped in, put her under her wing and said, I got you. If you need anything, I'm going to stop them from asking too many questions. You have the right to just not answer any questions. They have to come back to me. And that was really cool to see both Digital Girl kind of fall under Farmer's Daughter's wings, but also the way that she just so freely did it. And it flowed nice, and it was very pleasant to watch. I got to go hack at the turkey with Master Splinter, so that was kind of fun. And then it was kind of neat to watch at the end of it, after all the meals were done, we're about to leave and stuff. And Master Splinter's been doing a couple wood shows. And so Farmer's Daughter she's head over heels for him. I mean, it's very, I don't know if I want to be like them, but I would like to kind of have, in some ways I'd like to have the relationship that they have at this point. because they've been married for almost 50 years. And they still interact, they still touch, they still talk, they still communicate, they still do things together. And so he's been doing, with his woodworking, he's been doing some shows. Conditions on him doing the show was that farmer's daughter had to come along with. And after some thinking about it, she agreed to it. And so I really love watching the dynamic that they do. It makes me really appreciate things because, like, right now my life does not feel stable, and it's great to kind of see how other things support each other. I feel like this is one of those other videos I had a couple days ago where I don't know if this has a note on it, but something about the whole event. Maybe it's introducing new characters in my life that I think are cool, that I want people to know about. When I'm at work, I like to, if I know people, I love to show people off that I like, I respect, or that I want people to know, because I think it's cool to have people know each other. And I think these are great people. I want people to know these people. Maybe not by their real name because it's YouTube and I want to protect them, but I want people to know what they do and how they mean something to me. And being the whole theme of Thanksgiving, I think that's a huge part of it, is being grateful. And I see like all these different versions of saying there's all different kinds of family and Friendsgiving, and maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe there's too much gray in my beard where I just get lost into all these new fancy terms, but there's just something satisfying, I guess. Once I got past my nervousness, trusted digital girl, and I got to see all this family. It made me realize how much I am very blessed to have those people. So let me do this. And I guess to finish it off, my life is still tremendously unstable, but even in life there's little graces that kick in, and it's hard when the world's kind of flowing all around you and you don't know which way you're going to be turned. But every once in a while it's nice to know those same people that you strove out to support, they're still out there when you need it. And I think that's what I'm grateful most about. Maybe that's how I'm tying it up today. So if you have something that you're really grateful about or thankful about, go ahead and put it in the comments. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button on it. If you like the way these videos are going and you want to help continue to support me to my quest of, I think it's like 5, whatever. I need more subscribers, and I'd love to keep sharing fun things like this. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, honestly, what are you thankful about? Go ahead and put them in the comments on the bottom. That's maybe the best thing that you can do. Otherwise, I'll let the word speak, and everyone have a really good day. Bye.